You going to go thumbs up or thumbs down on Russell Westbrook making the Lakers a more lethal team going forward? So I am going 2 thumbs down. I got both my thumbs down on this one. And as far as the Maller report card, the letter grade that we give this particular transaction, so the Wizards get a B. I'm giving Washington a B. That's on my report card. The Maller report card for the Lakers, a D. They get a D on this trade. So I've got the jigsaw puzzle, rubber stamped, and domesticated swine. And we will combine all of these things together. Now, let us start with the big name. We play the hits here. Don't bury the lead, my man. And so the Lakers got another big name basketball player. Whee! So exciting, right? Headline stealing trade. Russell Westbrook, bona fide star, has a lot of minions, but he's a flawed player. True basketball people know that. Low information fans don't. They're aroused by this trade. It's orgasmic. Look at the resume. Oh, my God. Look at the man's resume. Mr. Triple-Double. That's his nickname. 9-time All-Star. Holy crap. MVP. All-NBA 9 times. Now, there are factions of the NBA media that are crowing and lamenting the rich getting richer. And let's hit the pause button right there. That is a bad take. In fact, from a pure basketball standpoint, this is a perplexing trade. And I'll tell you what, Russell Westbrook is better in fantasy basketball than he is in real life. And how many years do we have to see this? How many years do we have to see Russell Westbrook, who puts up great stats during the regular season, and then in the playoffs, a trap door opens up and he falls into a pit of anacondas? How many years in a row must this happen? And team building, you think about it like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And sometimes the puzzle pieces just do not fit, and you can't force them to fit. You can't do it. In the end, you just frustrate yourself and waste time. And Russell Westbrook is the puzzle piece here, where you try to jam it in, you frustrate yourself. It's a waste of time. Now, I have obviously a deep lack of appreciation for the Lakers, but I do know that the Lakers, what they needed was to fill out the supporting actors around the aging LeBron James and the fragile Anthony Davis. And Russell Westbrook's skill set just does not complement those players. This is the proverbial square peg into a round hole. The purple and gold weakness is three-point shooting. Every man, woman, and child knows this. The Lakers were 21st in the NBA in three-point efficiency, shot 35% from three-point range. So they go out and they make the big trade, and they get Russell Westbrook, who is, by definition, fool's gold. The numbers look good, but he is a liability from the outside. You needed a Navy SEAL sniper, but you got one who has bad aim. You got like the Polish snipers, which you got. This guy shot 31% from behind the arc, and that was last season in Washington, and that was actually better than his career average. Russell Westbrook is a 30% shooter on money balls. And the Lakers know this firsthand. That's the thing where you just like, what are they doing? This has the fingerprints of LeBron James all over. I need to get this guy. He's a big name player. I want to play with MVPs. But the Lakers should know this. They were eyewitnesses. Remember a couple years ago in that Fugazi bubble season in Orlando, in the Orlando area there, playing the Rockettes? And what did the Lakers do? They left Russell Westbrook wide open. He was like the wide open west of Montana. And said, okay, shoot the ball. I dare you. I double dog dare you to shoot the ball. And, of course, what did Russell Westbrook do? He took terrible shot after terrible shot, showing that he is a Freemason. And that certainly helped out the Lakers' cause in that particular series. And when the sun rises today, the Lakers are a worse team. That's it. I mean, you can spin it any way you want, but that's the case. And also, it's the double whammy because the Lakers don't have a lot of value other than Anthony Davis, and I guess some people would want LeBron. So They got rid of a bunch of guys, but those were the players they needed to make other moves. So now they got nothing. They've shot their shot. Russell Westbrook. And unless somebody just gives them something, that's the big move. There's nothing else. They have nothing else to trade. Why would you want any of the stiffs, the flotsam and jetsam that is around that team outside of three guys? All right, now part B of this. From the Wizards side of the trade, they come out surprisingly looking better than the Lakers. I'm going to tell you why. Washington squeezed out one season of Russell Westbrook at the end of his athletic prime. And now they have washed their hands with him. And it's like, all right, here's the booby prize. I'm going to send the booby prize on. Russell Westbrook plays like a crash test dummy. The last 3 seasons, the injuries have increased. The problems have risen here. Simultaneously, by the way, the miles going up on the odometer. And remember the cardinal rule. Do not let a falling star fall on you. And more importantly, this is a move that had the blessing of Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal has opted, surprisingly, to stay with the Washington Wizards, or so it appears, based on what we're being told here. This trade was rubber stamped by Bradley Beal. What's my evidence? He said he wanted to stay, and if you give that kind of endorsement as a superstar player, you have some say. Even a guy like Bradley Beal has some say. So if Bradley Beal didn't want Russell Westbrook traded, Russell Westbrook would not have been traded. Period, hard stop. And as far as the return going inbound to D.C., Kyle Kuzma is at best a mid-level player. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is roster spam. Montrezl Harrell will flourish in Washington on a bad team, no expectations, but he will become a weak link in the postseason, just like he did with the Clippers and just like he did with the Lakers when he got hemorrhoids sitting on the bench. He was out of the rotation. But it's pretty clear that Bradley Beal wanted nothing to do with Russell Westbrook, or this would not have happened. And so you take a couple steps back, and you're like, okay. In this case, you take one step back, and then you take 2 steps forward. 2 steps forward. All right, last word here. So this transaction, for our purposes, is gold bullion in sports radio. Russell Westbrook and LeBron James together, mano a mano, belly to belly, face to face, toss in Anthony Davis. It is a hootenanny. It's a hootenanny. And can you say too many cooks in the kitchen? I knew you could. Russell Westbrook, his reputation precedes him. Russ has been tagged as the kid on the playground who does not play well with others. And for references, you can contact Kevin Durant, who could not wait to run away from Westbrook and leave Oklahoma City. James Harden, who was at loggerheads in Houston with Westbrook. How about, we just mentioned Bradley Beal. Did not clearly see eye to eye with Russell Westbrook, or Westbrook would still be on the team. There is a pattern here. So think of this in terms of domesticated swine. The hog. In this case, the ball hog. It is a recipe for disaster. LeBron James is always going to be the alpha. He's the alpha dog, right? With whatever team he plays for. He's always going to be the primary ball handler. He's not going to give that up. I don't care how old he gets and how many times people around him say, no, LeBron's willing to be a backup guy or a part-time guy. No, it's not true. It's bullcrap. There is a reason that Russell Westbrook has been regifted more than candles and blenders, right? Westbrook is an acquired taste. And I'll tell you, for 75% of the game, he's perfectly fine. And for a lot of the regular season, you have no problem. You'll be like, wow, what a great move we got. Russell Westbrook, wow. But you know the clock is ticking, the doomsday clock. And at some point, you're going to have to play postseason games and those crunch time minutes. And that's when Russell Westbrook plays out of control. That's when he's reckless. He's irresponsible. And with the basketball, makes poor decisions on when to shoot, when not to shoot, etc. And those are the qualities that give your team a flat tire in the playoffs. I guarantee you right now, the Clippers are laughing at the Lakers. What were they thinking? I mean, and not just the Clippers, everyone, the Suns, you can go around, the Utah Jazz, everyone's like, oh my God. That's a great fantasy basketball trade, but it doesn't make the Lakers any better. It makes them worse. The guy can't shoot. He cannot shoot. Let me tell you something right now. I could go and get Blind Emmett or Blind Scott, a couple of my callers, and they would be more accurate. Both of them would be more accurate from downtown than Russell Westbrook. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.